Hi, it's Hans at happierman.com. Today's topic is dead by 60. I just learned of another high school classmate of mine who passed away just a couple of days ago. Uh, I don't know his exact age, but I'm assuming he's a little less than 60, kind of like I am. You know, if I think back to my high school class, yeah, we're all, within a year or two. Some of the guys might have been 60 by now. Some might be still 58, some 59. So I guess I'm assuming he was about 59. So I just did the math on the guys in my high school class who died, and 14% of them have passed away already before they turned 60 years old. This last guy, yeah, just ticked it up from 12% to 14%. It was, a small class, but I think if you can break down a subgroup of of people and that gives you some indication of where things are headed. You don't have to look at the whole world. You just look at your high school class. How many guys are dead, how many are living, how many are doing fine, how many are doing terrible, and do a little bit of quick math, and you can kind of gauge the state of the world. And so I do have quite a few videos on death and dying, and part of it is to motivate myself to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing and keep creating a happier man lifestyle for myself, because you just don't know, right? You just don't know that you're going to be able to last till you're 90, right? That seems pretty unlikely. Now, to be fair, the guy who just passed, my high school classmate, the story is he drank himself to death, right? So it's not like it was it's his own doing that did him in. I didn't know the fellow well. I think I saw him maybe one time between high school graduation and now. And as I recall, he was drunk in a bar, talking wild and crazy. So maybe that was an indication. But I'm sorry I didn't help him with his issues. I didn't. I do feel a little tough because instead of being a friend to him, I was nothing to him, right? Other than we graduated in the same class. So I don't know his demons or his problems that would cause him to do what he did. I guess it is always a wake-up call for people, that when you hear people doing extreme damage to themselves with their own bad vices, that, wow, don't do that, right? Don't drink so darn much, don't smoke so much, don't overeat so much, don't under-exercise so much, don't stress yourself out so much. You'll probably live longer, enjoy your life a little more. Now, his story, I guess the story was he was a pretty bad alcoholic a number of years ago, and he was married, and his wife gave him an ultimatum, and he probably, I guess he cleaned himself up, sobered up for a number of years, but then I suspect the demons came roaring back, and he's been drinking like crazy lately until you meet your ultimate demise by that method. As much as I like to party and enjoy that part of life, I don't enjoy overdoing it, and on a continuous basis. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. But I don't know what another person's. There may be other extenuating circumstances I'm not aware of, right? But it does motivate me. It does keep me going. The thought of, man, what if I had, what if I die soon, right? What if my number comes up? What if my heart gives out? What if I get the cancer? What if I have some accident? What if What if my demons catch up with me? So in the meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy life as best I can, and I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. Correct what's wrong in your life, what's right in your life, do more of that. Often, though, the main problem I see with guys is they have horrible problems and they're unwilling or unable or unknowing. They don't know what to do about their horrible problems. And until you correct some of your horrible problems, trying to have a happier man life is probably not doable. I know when I was married and being verbally abused, happiness was the farthest thing from my mind. I was just trying to survive. I could have easily seen myself dying from all of that abuse at a young age, and I jumped out, I left, and started going down a better path for myself, and that's what I would recommend you do. If this seems like a problem, if your wife is the problem, if you don't, you might want to check out my book in the allhappierman.com website. You'll see the book prominently on all the pages. Leave your wife and become a happier man with the 3-step system. I'd encourage you to check that out. Just reading about it, the article will probably help you. And I've got a lot of videos on verbal abuse, and I think verbal abuse is detrimental. And I don't have any idea if this fellow's wife was a verbally abusive lady or not. I tend to think maybe his problems were something else. But certainly when you have problems, the problem overwhelms you, and you want to not so much end the problem, but what would be the solution to your problem. So in my case, the problem was my verbally abusive wife, so the solution to the problem was to leave her. And then once I was no longer with her all the time, that problem went away. Now, we had small children, and there was lots of interaction, and the verbal abuse continued whenever I would be near her and when she would call and contact. But, on the day-to-day, I didn't have to contact her. I didn't have to live with her. I didn't have to put up with it all the time. And then over the years, eventually, I took steps to totally get her out of my life. But sometimes you got to baby step your problem away from your problems. So give that kind of morbid idea some thought. If you're closing in on 60, I would get darn busy and start having correct your big problems and start having some fun while you can. All for now.